Hello everyone and welcome to Sacred Symposium. My name is Karen. This is part of my channel where I do a channel from spirit in the hopes that I can bring through a message. Sorry, my hair's a bit crazy today. And bring through a message that you will find beneficial. I'm here with my trusty stone, which helps me just communicate because it helps open the throat chakra, and for some reason just holding it, I feel like it's almost like a radio dial, like I'm tuning in, and when I hold it I can kind of hear things a bit clearer. So I am after getting over a cold flu type thing last week, so you can probably still hear a little bit of that in my voice, and I am coughing a little bit as well. So I'm just wondering if Spirit does want to come in and use this time just to give you a little message in the hopes that I don't cough the whole way through it. So I hope you've been well. I hope life is treating you well and you are blossoming and enjoying the sunshine between the showers. Certainly here the weather is not your classic summer at all. So we're having to dodge showers now and again. But then that just shows that, life is never predictable really, and you don't necessarily know what is around the corner, or for that matter who is around the corner. And so the best thing to do is appreciate every moment, no matter what the state, no matter what the situation, because while you're still here on the earth, still here on the planet, your presence is needed. So don't think that you're a nothingness. We all are sort of tiny little particles, but yet our particles come together and bring balance. The idea is to bring balance. There's a lot of imbalance around. There's a lot of imbalance in mind, imbalance in body, imbalance in environment, imbalance in what we ingest as well, in what we're taking in, what we're reading, what we're looking at, what we're ruminating over, what we spend our time on. Can be a bit of imbalance in that. Sorry, apologies. But yeah, we'll just see what Spirit wants to come through and talk about today. It's June the 9th, Tuesday. I always like to do a little channel just to see, or mediumship or whatever, just to connect the Spirit and just to say, okay, I'm here, let's do a practice, work with me, let's see what happens. Whether it comes up on YouTube or not, who knows, but it gives me the opportunity, feeling chills now, to do a little bit of spiritual work. And that's what's being required of me. I'm also doing, I don't know if you know Lynn McTaggart, but I use some of her intention experiments as a healing in my spiritual awareness evenings. It's sort of as a finale to the evening, we do a little bit of the Power of 8 work. But she has a current experiment, you might say, at the moment, where she's saying suggests that you have two plants, sort of the same beginnings of two plants, and you send one of them healing vibrations and healing intentions, and you ignore the other one, and just see the difference. I'm just looking across the two strawberry plants that I have. So when I was away, they were at the window and they kind of burnt to a crisp, so there was nothing left of them. So we kind of got rid of those dead leaves, and then we put them back out again onto the windowsill, and I've been sending the vibration, the healing intention to one, and she's growing and she's got leaves and her leaves are green and she's popping out and she's lovely, and the other one is still very much nothing much happening with her. And I feel like I'm so sorry, I'll come back to you in a month, because she did say after a month then you can send intention to the other one and kind of help the other one along. But it's just sort of how you can work with plants and with nature and bring your plants along this journey with you. Hello, my plants. And and realize with the evidence, the effect of your positive intention. You know, people have done the rice experiment, you know, the watercress experiment, the whatever. So there's lots of different experiments with that, with intention. And also water now. You have Dr. Emoto and you have Veda Austin showing a lot of the information on water and how it receives and it holds information, and it is conscious, and it receives a lot more than we are aware that it receives. So particularly as a water sign, I think that's very interesting as well. So let's just take a moment and see if anything wants to come through. Try and get all the coughing out of the way first. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. I know there's a team of you, a tribe of you that do listen to these tarot readings or sacred symposium readings, and I hope they bring comfort. I hope they bring you something new. That is the intention of, thank you, the intention of creating this space is to bring something in from the higher perspective, so that it can communicate with you through me, I guess, essentially. Okay. I feel like we're having to get comfortable there for a second. Okay. Oh, it brings us so much joy to be able to connect with you in this way. We are sending vibrations through that this one is receiving, and she is digesting them through her own internal portal, we would say. Through this, she is able to decipher and determine the word, the closest word that would match the frequency, in order to give you something that is audible, understandable, of some intelligence, we would like to think. There we go. We're settling in nicely now. And we are pleased to be here and to be present. We are actually speaking with you from a ship, we will say. Most of you will understand what that means and what that entails. And in a way, this is like connecting it's technological. It's pretty much like a radio receiver. And there is a way for us to analyze how we are doing and to gather a certain amount of information in order to share it with you. We have news. We have not come very far. We are surrounding your perimeter. We are present and ready and waiting. There has been much speculation on your part of our existence, of our realness, of our design. And there are situations which have been made corrupt or made falsified, we would say, in our name. But soon you will understand the difference between the two. And it will be said that once you are in contact, the difference is very apparent. How shall we continue to address you? We would like to give you the opportunity to realize that communication can be wide and varied, and as you move closer to connecting with other beings from other realms and places, which is fast approaching. You have to see that the speed at which technology has advanced correlates to the speed at which disclosure is coming on board. Will it be contrived disclosure? A degree of it will. What we want for you to prepare for is the acceptance of the idea that you are not alone in your cosmos. We understand that the seed, the internal depth of you will know this to be true, because this is from where you came. But there will be an aspect of you that will have difficulty digesting the information. And often there will be headline news that will be in stark contrast to the reality that we wish to put forward. And because of that stark contrast, there will be a fixation on control and a regeneration of the fear element, which is, we would like to say, mellowing since your extraordinary event. But in order to have you captive again, it must be stimulated again. The fire must be poked. The bear must be poked. There must be another extraordinary event, which you are told is beyond your reasoning, is beyond anything that you would be capable of understanding, and has left you in a position, in a weak position, let's say. And therefore there is a need to reach out and combine your energies with those who see themselves as your saviors, as your controllers, as your dictators, in the guise of assisting you. And so we say that there is a time approaching where it would be very beneficial for you to simply come to the conclusion that you are not alone. You pray to the heavens, do you not? Where do you feel the heavens reside? Whether dimensionally different or frequency differences, these places reside somewhere other than you are. And so, where is that? What is it that you are praying to? Where is it that you are praying to? And so for anyone who has any religious commitment, there is a need to take off the blindfold and just be a little bit more specific about your belief system. If your belief system can include the nature of nature and its evolution and its continued expansion and its ongoing growth, then you will see that planetary evolution is understood to be simply a natural occurrence. And so recognizing there are many planets, and many planets are undergoing evolutionary growth, then you can see that as you look up to witness us, we look up to witness you. And we apply that interest to you because of our vibrational difference, because of our placement, we would say. We are placed in a slightly different level of connection and consciousness. Some are able to integrate with us, and we find this delightful and rewarding. Some are in incredible denial, and we find this delightful and rewarding too. We have no problem with humanity. And so, from our perspective, and we are the Delta region, we work with this one, and we are integrating a lot more recently. And we are confident that she will be a spokesperson should it be required. We feel that as the climate of awareness shifts, and it is shifting because of so many different ingredients. It is shifting because of so much disclosure and unveiling and witness divulging and podcast expression and artistic recollection, and there are so many different ways that the energy is basically with you now, that a key will turn and a statement will be made, and that will be that. Now, as with all systems, governments, establishments, there is protocol, and there is negotiation, and there is rule and law, and there are established ways, and there are new programs being collated right now in order to manage the situations which will occur. And we have a degree of influence on that also. Not necessarily our particular ship, but many, many. You have no idea how many dimensional beings are focused on the planet right now, are focused on you, and are willing you to join once again in the cosmic comedy. There is an excitement, but also a willingness to bring you forward quickly. Because the nature of humanity is one of evolving, is one of mankind stepping beyond the current understanding. And as such, there is a need to establish ground rules, guidelines, protocol to enable all generations, all ages to be able to digest such news. So we find ourselves flowing quite freely, and we find ourselves speaking here with our truth, and we find ourselves connecting in a way that is not in any way aggressive or destructive or of a violent nature. In fact, we find ourselves smoothly integrating. We find ourselves relaxed. We find ourselves joyful. We find ourselves interested in how the progress is going to occur. It is a bright and sunny day with us, and we are encouraging you to see the bright sun within your day, but also within you. Do not limit yourself to what you think you are, this human heavy vessel. You are a luminous, bright being who is alive and is vibrational and is pulsating energy in whatever way it's coming through you, in whatever way you're expressing it. You are, and you have capabilities that you're just beginning to tune into. And as the world moves forward into its new understanding and the idea of new comrades on the planet and new possibilities for traveling to other spaces becomes a new norm, and new visitors begin to arrive in order to be received and experience something they left long ago. Many are returning to re-establish communities that they had once begun a long time ago. But for us, for now, we sit above. We sit above and we remain connected. And we endeavour to poise ourselves in preparation to use times like this, where this one will sit and allow the energy to come through and speak what comes to our mind. Because it is in this way that we are able to communicate with you, to make contact with you, to be with you, to sit with you. Before we are able to reduce our vibration enough to travel closer, we can communicate now. And so we will continue to do that. We will continue to work on this relationship and send our good wishes in as many ways as we can. You may notice things, you may see things, things may begin to become revealed. Not always through this one, but also through many, many channels. So eventually there will be no doubt, while currently there is still a lot of doubt. But that will change as all things change, and you will move along as all things move along. But the fact that we are able to conduct ourselves in this way, to establish this level of harmony in this communication, suggests to us that we are moving into a more vibrationally aligned connection. And that is to do with the efforts of this one also. Her alignment is shifting too. And we are aware of her difficulties in expression because of her recent infection, her cold, as she calls it, interferes with her breathing. And we are reminding her of that connection to breath and how you can use it to take yourself further into a different space in order to remedy symptoms, to clear what needs to be cleared, and to maintain connection to the filtering in from the cosmic universe. We are delighted and pleased to have been here, to have been seen and to have been heard. And we will disconnect now in order that you all can go about your day. Thank you. Okay. It's waiting to cough the whole way through. I hope you enjoyed. That was from Delta, I believe. They're a group that work with me and that are supposedly coming through to communicate. It's weird. It's almost like I could see, it was almost like they were in a ship, and they were sitting around, and there was kind of glass windows, and they were kind of sitting around this centerpiece, and it was almost like the centerpiece was like a funnel, and almost like, the rest of the funnel kind of came down into my head, and then they were kind of almost going, and we're going to say this, and we're going to say that, and then that was kind of coming down the funnel into my head, and then I was saying it. So it was like they were all standing around this center thing, and then it was like a kind of a foily funnel thing that kind of came down to me. That's how I was seeing it. So rather than feeling them behind me, sometimes I feel things behind me, I feel things come more into me. This was very much away, and then it was like the telephone wire kind of coming down. And that's often the way when so I kind of galactics in the room, but I think this one is, because it's a ship, they're very much on the ship, not in my room. So yeah, interesting. If it interests you, it's kind of interesting, isn't it, the way different energies come in at different times and how they come in. But that's the crack. 5:19, Tuesday the 9th of July 2024. Hope you enjoyed. It's a little bit different, and we'll see what happens, see what transpires. All right, take care of yourselves. Lots of love. See you soon.